So instead of trying to repair the control units that originally went to the scoreboard, which were MP3350s, and not to mention it was for baseball, we opted to write custom software. So there's their logo, and there's a whole bunch of code behind it. There's your time, downs, home, yards to go, guest. There's your brightness adjustments and all that stuff. There's all of the code for doing the forms, the marquee, and all that fun stuff. Over in the modules, I have the fonts, which I generated custom fonts for the marquee. There's the actual global declared variables. And then there's the system I/O backbone. There's all the formatting that goes on for converting everything to go to the scoreboards, and system I/O routines for the serial port, and all that stuff. There's another little bug that VB has, and I'll actually show you that. I think it has more to do with the antivirus than the VB, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and, because there's the folder, scoreboard folder, we're going to go ahead and make our exe. It's going to save it in the VB code folder, compiling the exe. Oh, there's the exe. Watch this. I'm going to scan with malware bytes. I'll pop up malware bytes and do a scan. Ooh, they fixed it. It's not coming up with a virus anymore. I did post on their forum that my compiled applications were coming up with the Trojan.vbw virus, or LVBW or something. I did report that and did upload the source code for them to fix it, and it looks like they fixed it. Thank you, Malwarebytes. They're on top of their game. Alright, anyway, so as far as the fonts go, I made a neat little program. It's actually back a folder. It's called Font Builder, and the way this program works is I can draw out a font. Let's say it's 5x7, so let's go ahead and make the letter A and 5x7 dot matrix. Alright, make binary. Oh, there it is. There's my code that I just copy and paste into there. Now I will say this, to get a text box to print out VB code is impossible. It'll give you runtime errors, compile errors, all that stuff. So what you actually have to do to make this work, there's a little trick I'll show you. Let's open up the project file. See this? ASCII to text. So what I do is I take the VB code and put it in Hex Workshop and convert it to ASCII. So then there's a subroutine down here that I wrote that converts the ASCII data into text output. So then when you run the program and you create a character or something and you generate it, it creates the actual VB code, and it works quite well. That's a little trick to VB that you may or may not know, but if you didn't, you do now. So let's just go ahead and run the program. Down here's the debug window, and you're going to, when we pull up the marquee, let's type in test world, and then we're going to go ahead and hit set. You can watch it try to send the data to the marquee. But if you notice it's shifting it, that's because it's in scroll mode. So it's saying test, it's sending test world to the marquee, and it's scrolling it one line at a time. So basically it's like taking test world and just doing that with it, and then coming back and doing it again. So I got scroll implemented, and it just constantly goes through. But you'll see if you do home +1, this guy goes green and that guy stays red. But if I go guest 7 or guest 6, this guy goes red. But if I ramp this one up to 6, it's tied, so it goes yellow. These colors will be seen on the scoreboard itself. So we're going to go ahead and set the clock. We're going to do 00:15 seconds. And it says you only got to set the clock one time through the whole game. So it's yellow. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start the clock. So you watch it count down. It's yellow. Goes to 10, drops to red. So then we count all the way down. And then it stops. Alright. You can see the marquee being sent to the display still. But what we do is we set the clock again. It don't ask me, because it keeps the time consistent through the whole game. And then it moved up a quarter. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the clock again. And you can actually catch it every little bit. It's actually transmitting the time and everything to the scoreboard. So, and then it's going to run down a time again. We're getting towards the end of the second quarter. And you got to set the clock and start it again. So that's what we do. And now on the third one, but you can't set the time again until the game ends. So let's say there's 3 downs, and then let's say there's 8 yards to go to the first down. It's green. Obviously, if you go past 10 yards, you're actually going backwards. So let's do 11. It goes to red. So if you stay within your 10 yards, it's green. Then you can actually reset the score individually. Reset them out. I got a bug. I got to fix that. It's a good thing I was videotaping this, so I got to fix that bug. Anyway, and then in order to set the time, we got to clear the entire board. And then we set our time again. So we want to do 15-minute game. We do a 15-minute game and it's green because it's above 30 seconds. So we set the clock and we start it. And we go. Off we go. Stop, set the clock. It stays within the 1 quarter, so I can stop it if there's a problem. And I set the clock again. So it's back up to 15 minutes. Like if I started early, or if there's a foul or something like that, we reset the clock. It don't move quarters. I had caught that bug and I ended up fixing that. So in a nutshell, and it saves everything in a settings.ini, and there's the COM port and enable scoreboard, so we turn the scoreboard on and off. I don't have that function written yet, but everything is stored in an ini file, so when you open it up, the settings are remembered for the next time around. That is all, folks. I'll give you another update once we get all the parts in and we start building this monster.